In this week's episode, I'm sharing a snippet from a training bundle inside Pattern Partnership around the topic of fear. This is a topic we don't hear being talked about enough right now. It's not a popular mainstream topic, but one that I speak on a lot, and I don't see me stopping talking about it because it's such a major part of our lives and how we go through life. It's what determines if we pursue a goal or we wait until conditions are optimal, which you know and I know that if you wait until the timing is perfect, it's likely too late. So in this episode, I'm going to give you a little preview. I'm sharing a snippet from the training that's coming soon. So if you want to learn more about how to get the full training, let me know and I will get you the information. But in the meanwhile, let's get into it. Our Real Talk starts now. Hey there, welcome to another episode of the Real Talk with Tian podcast. This is a podcast dishing all the dirt on the realities of running a creative business. My name is Tian and I'm a designer, technical editor, and business coach. See, since leaving corporate almost a decade ago, I've been doing this amazing work full time. It hasn't always been easy, but it has always been totally worth it. Over the years, I've had the amazing opportunities to work with hundreds of makers just like you and tons of big brands. This has given me a front row seat to what it takes to be successful as a creative business. With this podcast, I'm drawing back the curtains to share with you the behind the scenes of the realities of what it's really like, what it takes to run a successful and fulfilling creative business. Welcome to the conversation. Grab a cup of tea or your favorite beverage. It's time for some real talk. Welcome to another episode of the Real Talk with Tian podcast. I am your host, Tian Connaughton of tianconaughton.com. I am the creator of Pattern Partnership, a mentoring and accountability program for crochet and knitwear designers, and also the creator of The Society, a coaching program for makers and creative entrepreneurs. We're going to jump into that training session right now, and let's start with a few questions. What are you afraid of? What fears do you have? What fears feel real? What fears are holding you back? Are you afraid of failing? Maybe you're afraid of success. Are you afraid of potentially making a misstep and stumbling in front of others and possibly looking silly when you should be the expert? Here's the problem. You want to hit those goals. You want to be on that next level, like right now. You're ready. And yeah, it is possible that life is waiting for you. Those opportunities are there, but are you truly ready for it? I know what you're going to say. You're going to say that you're ready and have been waiting and now is your time and all of that. I don't deny that you believe that, but I will say to take a minute to really reflect on what you've been putting out there and how you've been showing up. What is the image you've been projecting? Is it authentic? Are you forcing it? Does it come off looking desperate? What is your perfect person, aka your audience, your ideal customer? What are they seeing? Chances are what they are seeing is not exactly the image you intend, and that could account for why you're not resonating much. How do I know? Well, I've been there. I've worked with designers just like you and know that it's not your fault. There are so many images out there about what it should look like, and if you don't measure up, then you're a failure. And that's a scary place to come from. That's a scary place to try and serve your audience from, because they will see it. They will see that desperation. And it's, to be honest, a turnoff. So here's a reality check. The fear. It's always going to be there. You might run from it. You might hide. You might put on this facade of someone that you really are not. But that fear is going to be there. It never truly goes away completely. As you grow and overcome one fear, different fears and struggles pop up. As a kid, maybe you were afraid of what was under your bed, what's in the dark, inky shadows of your closet, that unknown. Now, as an adult, you no longer have that particular fear because it's no longer an unknown. But now you fear what would happen if that next launch fails. A few years into business, you don't worry about the launch failing, but there is something else. There will always be something else. And the key is not to fight it into submission so it goes away all the way, but to learn how to manage you. You learn to manage how you handle the fear. You manage how you talk to yourself and treat yourself. It's about how you shift your thoughts to be more productive. And I don't mean productive as in the sense of getting more done, but in the sense that being productive is being able to care for yourself in a loving and caring way. To do the self-talk that gets you on the other side. Because the reality is that you're never going to be fear-free, but you might become fearless. Not the absence of fear, but to have less fear. So how do you handle that fear? Well, think of it as a big boulder you're pushing up a hill. It's heavy and you're small. You take 3 steps forward only to be pushed back 2 steps. It's painfully difficult and you don't feel like you're making progress. Sometimes you wonder why even bother because it's so hard and it all feels so impossible. Why bother? Is it even worth the struggle? What's even at the top of that hill? Will I even want it when I get there? That's where the thought process goes for a lot of us. As entrepreneurs and business owners, the struggle is so great that it feels easier to just go back down the hill, right? I get it. You are definitely not alone here. But no, that's where the mind trash takes you, right out of the game. It makes you feel like it's easier to just stop pushing. It makes it feel like it's just easier to just turn around and go back down the hill. But is that true? If you stop going forward, if you stop going after what you want, will life get easier? Ponder on that for a minute. Think about it. If you stop doing the hard thing, the thing you actually want, will your fears go away? All of them? Will your journey get any easier? Think about it. Here's the thing. Your journey isn't going to get any easier taking the safe route. We know that. But in order to lighten the load, you have to chip away at it bit by bit. Take a hammer and chip away pieces to make it smaller, to make that boulder more manageable. And as you're working hard to chip away at it, you're seeing a change in yourself as well. You're getting stronger. You're developing muscles. You're stronger physically and mentally. The boulder of fear you've been chipping away at, it's getting smaller. It's more manageable to push up the hill. It's not completely gone because it will never be completely gone, but it's more manageable. And you're more able to carry it towards your goal because you're chipping away at it to make it smaller. And you are getting stronger as you do the work. So what used to be 3 steps forward and 2 steps back might turn into 3 steps forward, 1 step back. And then eventually becomes 3 steps forward and no steps back. And you're just moving forward until another big fear pops up, and then you go through those steps again and regain control and get stronger and push farther. It's this constant strengthening that needs to be happening. It's you constantly sharpening that blade, that hammer, making yourself stronger to go forward. It's not a one and done. but instead it's learning and growing. It's about always getting stronger physically and mentally. We know that doubts and fears can hold you back from our goals. So I'm going to share something I learned from my coach, and I've been doing a lot of research on to learn more about, and have worked through with my designer clients who are in the established stage of their business and looking for a bit of support to hit that next level. If you're curious about what I mean when I talk about designers in the established stage, I talk about this in Pattern Partnership and inside the free 5-day challenge, which I've linked in the show notes. And I've used this method, this coaching method, and it has helped me, and I know it will help you as well. So how do you go from overwhelmed to start building those muscles and chip away at the fear? It starts with deciding what you want your life and your business to be. What is your vision? What is your next level? What does your next level look like? And in this training, I'm going to walk you through a tool I use often. And that's the ACT matrix, which is Acceptance and Commitment Therapy Matrix. You can Google it and get more information on it and study deeper beyond what we're going to be covering here in this training. So at the end of the day, fear doesn't go away completely. Let it ride in the car with you, maybe in the front passenger seat, but maybe not in the driver's seat, not taking the lead. And not in the back seat, because we don't want to be constantly looking in our mirror to see what's behind us and to be always in fear. You are the driver. Put that fear in the passenger seat so you can feel it and kind of see it and keep it in your peripheral vision, but you are still able to move forward. So I'm going to leave it there for today. This is just a small sampling of the full training going up inside of Pattern Partnership, the membership program. If you are not a member yet, what's holding you back? What do you need to take that next step? If you are a crochet or knitwear designer, this is the best place to go to get the support you need to make more sales. This is a safe space that we've created specifically for designers, because we know that you have very specific questions and challenges, and this is the place to come to ask your questions and get feedback, such as maybe you have questions on putting together a proposal to send off to a third-party publication. Maybe you have questions about the compensation and collaborating with a yarn company. Bring your questions and get insights from other designers who have been there. Come with your questions and I'll give you guidance and suggestions so you can take the next best step that is right for your business. By being a member of Pattern Partnership, you'll get training. You'll get access to me. I'll be able to guide and support you on your design journey, from designing to launching all the way to growing your business to that next level. Pattern Partnership is a monthly membership program. You can join it by going to bit.ly/Pattern Partnership. Again, there's a link in the show notes. The cost is less than a cup of coffee a day. Pattern Partnership is a coaching program with lots of hands-on support and training that you can go at your own pace. There is so much training in there for you, and the library is growing so much that you can look to see what you need training around and be able to go in and find the training there to help you. I like to call it just-in-time learning, because the information you need right now is in there. So there's a lot in there for you. You have the training and you have access to me. And I would love for you to come check us out and see if Pattern Partnership is right for you. Come see if it will benefit you. Come for your first month with the special offer, and I'll take $10 off your first month of the membership. You can come in, kick the tires, try it out, see all that we have to offer to you. So come join us for a very special trial price for your first month. To learn more, go to bit.ly/pattern partnership. All the links you will need are in the show notes. Bye for now. Thank you for listening to another episode of the podcast all the way to the end. Everything we mentioned will be listed in the show notes at tianconnerton.com/realtalkwithtn. If you have questions on anything I've mentioned, or if you just want to book a coaching session, go to tianconnerton.com/contact-us to get in touch. You got this.